Exclusive contract novel from Feilu Novel Network. Let you form an archaeological team. All members are tomb raiders. Tang Fan traveled through a parallel world, only to find that there were actually many forbidden zones in this world. After an official investigation, it was found that behind each forbidden zone, there seems to be a shadow of a mysterious ancient country. In order to thoroughly investigate the relationship between the restricted area and the ancient country, as well as to fully understand the history that occurred back then, the official ordered the formation of a brave and skilled archaeological team, specifically responsible for this matter, to explore the restricted area. At this moment, the system was activated and awakened, and Tang Fan immediately began to recruit troops and horses. The team members recruited were actually Hu Bayi, Zhang Qilin, Zhegu Shao, Chen Yulou, Black Eyes, and others. Watching these top experts stealing doors gather together, the headquarters is dumbfounded. Good guy. I asked you to form an archaeological team. All of your members are tomb raiders. From then on, China gained an extremely mysterious archaeological team. This team doesn't seem to have any archaeology, but everything they do. Feilu Novel Network reminds you that this novel and its characters are purely fictional. If there are any similarities, they are purely coincidental and should not be imitated. Chapter 1. 7 Forbidden Areas of Life. Zhenguo System. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 1. 7 Forbidden Areas of Life. Zhenguo System. At this point, Tang Fan sitting in the meeting room of the Magic City Archaeology Conference. A funny expression appeared on his face. He didn't expect it. I am fortunate enough to become a member of the army of travelers. Especially, the world I travel to is still very interesting. This world is almost the same as a blue star. The interesting thing is, many fictional characters exist in this world. Especially the characters in the tomb raiding world seem to live in this world. Of course. It's not this that makes him laugh. But rather, it is oneself who has been transported by tomb raiders. But in this world, he has become one of the top 10 experts in archaeology. This is undoubtedly a ridiculous thing. Today we gather 10 of you here. Just for one thing. And at this point, the old man sitting in seat C spoke up. The old man's name is Lin Hua, also known as Lin Lao, and he is under the jurisdiction of all archaeologists. In other words, he is Tang Fan's immediate superior. And as Lin Lao spoke up, the gaze of 10 archaeologists in the conference room, including Tang Fan, couldn't help but fall on Mr. Lin. Under the illumination of energy-saving lamps, Mr. Lin's expression was extremely solemn. It seems like encountering a very tricky matter. You all know. There has been an incident in the 7 forbidden areas of life. Especially the Naringele Canyon. There are still cases of corpses emerging today. This time, I summoned you all here for this matter. Lin Lao met everyone's gaze and continued to speak. Tang Fan frowned slightly after listening. Because studying the forbidden zone of life is the responsibility of the survey team. Even if serious problems are discovered, the meeting should also be held within the survey team. How could they be summoned? In theory, this matter should have nothing to do with the archaeological community. Ah, Mr. Lin. We know the seriousness of the matter. But nearly 10,000 people have already been dispatched before and after. But those who go to the second area have no return. You keep calling us up, it's useless. At this point, Chen Yulou, one of the top 10 archaeologists, spoke up. The other 8 nodded in agreement with Chen Yulou's words. Yeah. We can't solve it at all. Alas, if it can be resolved, there's no need for you, Mr. Lin, to convene. We will naturally go. That's right. Lin, it's useless for you to summon us. 8 people spoke one after another. They all have a worried and distressed expression on their faces. However, Sitting on the chair, Tang Fan's mind was filled with question marks. Because he hasn't received any news. Naringele Canyon, he knew it was a forbidden zone for life, known as the Gate of Hell. Just. What is the relationship between the changes that occurred there and the archaeological team? Tang Fan thought to himself. If you can't help it, come up with a solution for me. Lin Lao let out a cold snort of dissatisfaction. The majestic gaze is to glance at everyone. Finally, his gaze fell on Tang Fan and he said, "You probably don't know what the situation is, do you?" Facing his gaze, Tang Fan nodded. He really doesn't know what happened. Because in the past few days, he has been hospitalized due to appendicitis. In the past few decades, there are various strange things happening in the forbidden zone of life. After research and investigation, it was found that these strange things were due to the existence of mysterious ancient tombs within the forbidden zone of life. The existence of mysterious ancient tombs has led to a mutation in the forbidden zone of life, and now there are even cases of corpses rising in the Naringele Canyon. And since it's related to ancient tombs, it's our archaeological team's responsibility. The above has already issued us a command to take our lead in investigating the cause of the mutation. Even solve it. Lin patiently explained to Tang Fan. What? Tang Fan was a bit confused after listening. He didn't expect that there would be mysterious ancient tombs within those restricted areas of life. Now it has even caused a mutation in the forbidden zone of life. Ding, the world has merged, Zhenguo system activation. Note. The national security system is responsible for safeguarding national security. Due to the mysterious ancient tomb in the forbidden zone of life, it caused a series of demons and influenced the national fortune of Kyushu. Hereby, the main quest is activated. Solving the source of the mutation is limited to 3 months. If it is not resolved within 3 months, the Kyushu national luck will collapse, and the host will also be greatly affected. Task completed, reward national luck boost. Sideline task. Establish an archaeological team to solve the source of the mutation. For every member of the archaeological team, the host can receive their own attribute rewards and mysterious rewards. Note. This reward has no limit on the number of times, but the members included need to have fictional characters that exist in this world. Due to initial activation, a new host gift package will be given as a gift. Complete version of 16-character Yin Yang Feng Shui Secret Technique *1, Black Gold Ancient Sword *1. The reward has been sent to the system backpack. You can silently recite and retrieve it when needed. And just as Tang Fan felt incredible, a series of electronic synthesis rang out in his mind. After listening, Tang Fan was both surprised and confused. Surprisingly, as the system says, Kyushu will be finished in only 3 months. What's confusing is, the system has to solve this on its own. Isn't this noisy? Perhaps this is the treatment for travelers. Opportunities and dangers coexist. Tang Fan sighed helplessly in his heart. Although he is not sure what the added value of national luck is. But there must be huge benefits for him. Moreover, if the mysterious ancient country issue is not resolved, he will also suffer along with it. From any perspective, he has to take on this job. I asked you to come, not to hear you say it's useless. I'm here to listen to advice or solutions to problems. This matter has attracted great attention. If it can't be solved, then everyone should wait to throw their hats. Lin's angry words brought Tang Fan back to his senses. The other 9 experts in the field of archaeology have finished listening. You look at me, I look at you, I can't speak for a moment. If there really is a way, how could they sit here waiting? Lin Lao. How about I handle this matter? At this moment, Tang Fan sighed and stood up, saying. Chapter 2. Are you talking about Zhang Qilin? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 2. Are you talking about Zhang Qilin? As soon as this sentence is spoken, the entire conference room fell into a dead silence. Everyone looked at Tang Fan incredulously. No one expected that Tang Fan would dare to take on such a job. You should know. Entering the restricted zone of life is not just for fun. Many people entering the forbidden zone of life are narrowly escaped. Not to mention solving the mysterious ancient tomb hidden deep within the forbidden zone of life. Based on the current situation, the mysterious ancient tomb is the source of everything. Tang Fan took on this job. This means that he needs to solve those sources. Tang Fan. Don't joke in such occasions. Yeah. This is not for fun. Sigh, let's think of a way. What's the solution? Archaeologists, you speak and I speak. Obviously. Tang Fan's words seemed to them just a joke. Tang Fan, this is not a children's play. Lin Lao also calmly opened his face and spoke. He also felt that Tang Fan was joking. It's not his fault either. After all, since discovering the seriousness of the matter, Kyushu not only dispatched archaeological teams, but also sent elite troops to follow. What about the outcome? Either it's halfway damaged, or it's reaching deep and unable to enter the ancient tomb. The difficulty is immense. It can be described as a national-level difficulty. Where does Tang Fan have the ability to solve it alone? But do you have a good solution? Tang Fan gave those big shots a mocking glance and said sarcastically. If it weren't for the task given by the system, it would still be related to his own future. He won't be the top bird. Upon hearing this, the other 9 experts in the field of archaeology all fell silent. Are you sure? Lin Lao saw that Tang Fan was not joking and asked with a serious tone. There's no way, why don't you let me try? Tang Fan shrugged his shoulders. He also knows. Taking on this job on your own won't make people feel feasible. After all, he is just a big shot in the field of archaeology. It's not a god, nor is it a fairy. Okay. What do you want to do? The country will fully support you. You can use all your resources. Lin sighed and said. Really, they have no choice now. It's okay to let Tang Fan try. I need to establish a department. Incorporate folk experts. Tang Fan spoke directly. He finally understood. Why does the system require him to include fictional characters living in this world? Because of the forbidden zone of life, it is truly a forbidden zone for ordinary people. Ordinary people entering will not have any good results. But fictional characters are different. Fictional characters are all capable. Skills, equipment, and so on. They are not comparable to ordinary people. The efficiency of fictional characters entering the forbidden zone of life is definitely several times that of ordinary people. What else? Lin Lao continued to ask. However, the other 9 experts in the field of archaeology remained silent. It's also a good thing for them to have someone take over this mess. I will keep you informed based on the situation. Tang Fan took over the conversation. Now, his first task is to form a good team and obtain system rewards by incorporating characters. He can only have enough confidence to enter the forbidden zone of life. Otherwise, go in with his current abilities. It will definitely suffer a big loss. Okay, you go ahead. I will send a specialist to you. He will assist you. Lin sighed and said. Tang Fan nodded, glanced at the other 9 big shots, mocked them, and turned around to leave. Lin Lao, although Tang Fan has taken over, we still need to think of other plans. Yeah, if he can do it, it's okay. What if he can't? I hope he can do it, but it's not realistic. Let's think of other ways. And after Tang Fan walked out of the room, the voices of 9 big shots came into his ears. Obviously, they don't think Tang Fan can solve this matter. Listen to those sounds. Tang Fan just smiled indifferently. If it weren't for the system, he wouldn't have thought he could do it. But there is a system in place. He still has some confidence in solving the mysterious ancient tomb issue. The system is his confidence. Step out of the conference room. Not long after, Tang Fan arrived at his villa. Just entered the door not long ago. The commissioner sent by Mr. Lin rushed to him. Tang Fan also knows this person. It's Lin Lao's daughter, Lin Qingwu. She is the goddess in the minds of many people in the archaeological community. You don't need to introduce yourself, do you? Lin Qingwu smiled and said. What else do we need to introduce? Tang Fan responded with a smile. He is quite familiar with Lin Qingwu. Because Lin Qingwu has repeatedly approached him to discuss knowledge about ancient tombs. In one go and two go. The two have become good friends. She can also be considered Tang Fan's only friend in this world. Are you planning to summon people to form a new archaeological team? Do you have any preferred candidates? Ordinary people definitely can't do it. Lin Qingwu sat down opposite Tang Fan and said directly to the theme. Nature. Ordinary people entering the penalty area are just making up the numbers. I need to gather talented people to do it. Tang Fan nodded and said. However, he currently has no clue about the issue of the convener. Because he's not sure either. What fictional characters exist in this world? I do know a master who steals doors. But that guy is cold and cold, just like an ice cube, cherishing words like gold. But I heard his skills are very impressive. At this moment, Lin Qingwu picked up an apple and said as she nibbled on it. After listening, Tang Fan couldn't sit still in an instant. He stared at Lin Qingwu and said seriously, the person you're talking about is Zhang Qilin. Chapter 3. Compiled by Zhang Qilin. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 3. Compiled by Zhang Qilin, right. After listening, Lin Qingwu nodded like pounding garlic and said, I didn't expect you to know too. That's right. He is a thief, and you are an archaeologist, so naturally you know. After listening, Tang Fan became excited. If the person Lin Qingwu is talking about is the one she thinks of. If included, it would definitely be a big help. However, he is not sure now. Is what Lin Qingwu is saying the one she thinks? Tell me more about this person. Tang Fan urgently asked. He is an old iceberg that has been around for thousands of years. Zhang De is quite handsome, but always puts on an expression of someone owes him money. It's strange to say that although this Qilin is a thief, he often goes to the grave. But he didn't take anything from the tomb. It seems like I'm looking for something. Lin Qingwu was nibbling on the apple. As she reminisced, she spoke. After speaking, she stared at Tang Fan with wide eyes and continued, You're not trying to recruit him, are you? That guy is definitely skilled. But words are as precious as gold, and oil and salt do not enter. It's not an easy task for you to recruit him. After listening, Tang Fan smiled. Now, he can basically be certain. The person in Lin Qingwu's mouth is the existence he thinks of. As for inviting him in, it may be difficult for others. For Tang Fan, it's not a difficult task. Because he knows. What is the purpose of Zhang Qilin entering various ancient tombs? Where is that person now? Tang Fan asked after him. In the Magic City Bureau, when he was discovered entering the tomb, my dad had someone go and catch him. It took a lot of effort to catch it. However, it's funny to say. Although he entered the tomb, he did not sell any cultural relics, so it does not constitute tomb robbery. Plus, he didn't cause any damage, just like visiting a tomb. It does not belong to the category of damaging others' private property. The Bureau doesn't even know how to handle this matter. Lin Qingwu kept speaking. Tang Fan laughed after listening. Indeed. The crime of tomb robbing does not refer to entering an unexplored ancient tomb, but rather to tomb robbing. But rather, enter ancient tombs and steal cultural relics for sale or possession. This is the crime of tomb robbery. And besides the crime of tomb robbery, another crime of entering an ancient tomb is to destroy the private property of others. It's about entering the ancient tomb, even though there are no stolen cultural relics for sale or possession. But causing huge damage, leading to the collapse of ancient tombs or something like that. This will be defined as destroying the private property of others. It's really difficult to handle Zhang Qilin's lack of contact. Let's go. Take me to meet him. Tang Fan spoke up and said. Zhang Qilin must be brought into the organization he has created. Ah. Lin Qingwu couldn't help but be stunned after listening, and she said in shock, do you really want to include him? Tang Fan smiled slightly and said, why not include such a powerful person? Just take me there. Tang Fan insisted. Under the leadership of Lin Qingwu, he successfully met Zhang Qilin at the Magic City police station. It's really handsome. It is indeed a look of rejection from 1,000 miles away. Ah, this person doesn't say anything. Even if he just said, go into the ancient tomb and take a look, we can handle it easily. Like a gourd, it's the first time I've met someone like this. The command has been sent from above, fully cooperating with you. If you can persuade him, then take it with you. Director Zhang of the Magic City Police Station spoke to Tang Fan with a headache. Over the years, he has interrogated many people who have entered the bureau. There are also those who are silent. But this is the first time he has met someone like Zhang Qilin. For him, it's simply torture. You can avoid it and leave the rest to me. Tang Fan waved his hand and said. After speaking, he walked into the interrogation room and sat down in front of Zhang Qilin. Zhang Qilin looked up at him and then said nothing more. Tang Fan, who knows his personality, is not angry either. He smiled slightly and looked at Zhang Qilin, saying, Zhang Qilin, a mysterious member of the Zhang family. Having a special bloodline. Upon hearing this, Zhang Qilin's gaze instantly fell on him. I know your purpose for entering the tomb. It's to find missing memories. Facing his gaze, Tang Fan continued. Moment, who are you? Zhang Qilin, who is as reserved as gold, spoke up. Tang Fan smiled slightly. Playing with the walnuts in my hand. It doesn't matter who I am. The important thing is. Follow me, I can help you retrieve your missing memories. Zhang Qilin looked at him and said word by word, why do I believe you? Just because I know you have the bloodline of a unicorn. That's the contract between your Zhang family and your mission. And you are a perfect elder. But the price of immortality is that you will suffer from amnesia. I will lose my memory in no time. I have something here that you will be very interested in. Tang Fan smiled and said. Say it. Take out the black and gold ancient knife from the system backpack and place it on the table. Seeing the black gold ancient blade, Zhang Qilin was momentarily stunned, occasionally shaking his head. That look seemed like something was coming to mind, but it seemed blurry. Long time. He just calmed down. What do you need me to do? He looked at Tang Fan indifferently. As long as you follow me. Tang Fan smiled and spoke, then extended a hand. Zhang Qilin hesitated for a moment, then glanced at the black gold ancient blade and then at Tang Fan. Finally, I reached out and shook hands with him. Ding, congratulations to the host for successfully incorporating Zhang Qilin. Obtaining rewards. Chapter 4. Is there a unit called? You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 4. Is there a person named Hu Bayi in the Kunlun garrison? Ding, congratulations to the host for incorporating Zhang Qilin, reward 12 attribute points. Note: self-attribute points can increase the host's own speed, strength, and defense attributes, with no restrictions. Ding, congratulations to the host for obtaining martial arts, one young finger, the reward has been distributed. Do you want to check your own attributes? And just as Zhang Qilin shook hands with Tang Fan, the sound of the system keeps ringing. Then, a wave of information flowed into Tang Fan's mind. It is precisely the essence of the one young finger in martial arts. By absorbing this knowledge, he will learn to use a young finger. It can concentrate all the power on the fingers of both hands, thus dealing extremely high damage. If you have enough strength, it's not a problem to cross the mountain with just one finger. This is great, check the properties. Tang Fan muttered to himself. Moment, a property panel appeared in his mind. Host. Tang Fan. Speed, 60. Power. 66, defense. 60, master martial arts. One young finger. Overall evaluation, Xiao Cainiao needs to work hard. Look at the attribute board. Tang Fan's forehead sprouted several black lines. It has been a year since I traveled here. He hasn't been idle this year, often exercising and learning martial arts from others. I didn't expect to receive a rookie review now. 12-point attribute. The 3 attributes of oneself should be leveled first. Looking at the attribute board, Tang Fan muttered to himself. One's own attributes are particularly important, regardless of which aspect. So, being able to maintain stable development is the best option. After all, he still has some time to incorporate characters and obtain attribute points. Thinking about it, he added 12 attributes to speed and defense separately. Successfully added. At present, the 3 attributes are defense 66, strength 66, and speed 66. The sound of the system rings. Come with me. This is your meeting gift. After finishing everything, Tang Fan pointed to the black golden ancient sword and said to Zhang Qilin. Thank you. Zhang Qilin politely accepted the black gold ancient blade. And when Tang Fan walked out of the interrogation room with Zhang Qilin, Lin Qingwu, who was talking to Director Zhang, was momentarily stunned. She glanced at Zhang Qilin silently following behind Tang Fan, her face full of disbelief. You. He. For a moment, she was unable to organize her language well. What about you, me, and him? Director Zhang, I'll take this person with me. Tang Fan smiled and said to Director Zhang. Being able to recruit Zhang Qilin under his command is a very gratifying thing for him. After all, obtaining a general not only enhances one's attributes, but also teaches a unique skill. It can be said that it is a good thing to kill 3 birds with 1 arrow. No problem, no problem. Director Zhang responded with a smile. Zhang Qilin is important to him. It's like getting a needle stuck in my head, and seeing it gives me a headache. If Tang Fan takes it away, it's like pulling out that needle. He is naturally happy too. Sitting in the passenger seat, Lin Qingwu kept stealing glances at Zhang Qilin. Until now, she feels unbelievable. This big iceberg was actually included by Tang Fan. How did you do it? Lin Qingwu asked curiously. Zhang Qilin looks like he doesn't get enough oil and salt. It's unbelievable that Tang Fan was able to include it. I'm amazing. Tang Fan chuckled. Suddenly, he seemed to think of something and asked, among the troops stationed in the Kunlun Mountains, is there someone named Hu Bayi? He looked at Lin Qingwu and asked. Since Zhang Qilin exists, he thinks Hu Bayi should also exist. Even Zhegu Shao, Chen Yulou, Black Eyes and others exist. If these people really exist, include them yourself. That's definitely a terrifying team. And these people are already under the jurisdiction of the thief's door. If you enter the mysterious ancient country, they are perfectly suited. Wait, I'll help you ask. Lin Qingwu spoke and took out her phone to start sending messages. Tang Fan drove his vehicle towards his villa. In no time, he returned to the villa with Zhang Qilin and Lin Qingwu. I have received a message. Tang Fan had just sat down when Lin Qingwu spoke up. Oh. How are you? Do you have it? Tang Fan asked urgently. If Hu Bayi were to come over, he would definitely be a capable general. And it's easy to include him. After all, as Mr. Lin said, Kyushu can fully support him. There really is one named Hu Bayi. He's very strange, holding an old book and reading it all day. What are you talking about? Looking for 100,000 dragons and winding mountains. Lin Qingwu looked at the message replied on her phone and said. Searching for 100,000 dragons, watching the winding mountains, one heavy winding is one heavy barrier. If there is 1,000 heavy burdens within the pass, there must be kings and nobles living here. Not waiting for Lin Qingwu to finish speaking, Tang Fan began to mutter proficiently. This can be considered as Hu Bai's catchphrase. Right, right. How did you know? Lin Qingwu looked at Tang Fan incredulously. At this moment, she felt a bit overwhelmed by this person. It seems that I know a lot of things. You don't have to worry about it. Tell that person over there, I have included Hu Bayi. Tang Fan smiled mysteriously, feeling extremely happy in his heart. This is equivalent to having two generals. By the way. Tang Fan continued speaking, staring at the teacup and slowly saying, can you help me check a few more people? Zhegu Shao, Chen Yulou, and Black Eyes are all members of the bandits sect. See if you can find it. Chapter 5. Naringele Canyon, the legendary ghost country. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 5. Naringele Canyon, the legendary ghost country. After listening to Lin Qingwu, she was dumbfounded on the spot. Didn't you form an archaeological team? How can all the thieves be included? She asked in a somewhat confused manner. From both positive and negative perspectives. The archaeological team and the thief are at odds. Because the archaeological team is responsible for the rescue, excavation and protection of cultural relics. Most of the people involved in tomb raiding are tomb raiders who sell antiques and destroy ancient tombs for their own selfish gain. The two organizations are incompatible. What about Tang Fan now? Form an archaeological team and recruit all the members of the thief's gang. Whoever cares about him. As long as we can solve the current problem, wouldn't it be good? In terms of skills. The thief is more powerful than the archaeological team, isn't he? Tang Fan rolled his eyes. Who cares about stealing doors now? As long as people can use it. They don't have much time, only 3 months. There are also many life restriction zones within Kyushu. Okay. Lin Qingwu thought for a moment and agreed. Tang Fan is very right. In terms of skills. The thief is indeed more powerful than the archaeological team. These are the information in the forbidden zone of life. Take a look. Lin Qing handed a confidential document to Tang Fan. Tang Fan took it and flipped through it to check. The first forbidden zone for life is the Gate of Hell on Kunlun Mountain, Naringele Canyon. This is a widely recognized forbidden zone of life. There are many legends about this place. Some people say that this place is the Yao Qi of the Queen Mother of the West. Some people say that it is the entrance to hell. Some people believe that crossing the Naringele Canyon can lead to the fairyland. There are various opinions on the theory of Naringele Canyon. But terrifying things happen frequently in the Naringele Canyon. However, what caught Tang Fan's attention was the Mantis Man record. This secret document records a survey team exploring the Naringele Canyon in 1951. Discovered an extremely strange creature. It looks like a praying mantis, but it can walk upright like a human. And that survey team was directly annihilated by the Mantis people. Wasn't Mantis Man discovered only in 1962? Tang Fan looked at him and asked with a slight frown. As far as he knows, Mantis people were indeed discovered in the Kunlun Mountains. But it's not Naringele Canyon. I don't know exactly where it is. In 1962, it was the second time Mantis Man was discovered. Lin Qingwu took over the conversation and said, actually, in 1962, another survey team met the Mantis Man in the Naringele Canyon. Only one person escaped from a team of over 20 people. Later, the government sent people to search, but they couldn't even find the body of the survey team. Due to the loss of manpower, this matter has come to an end. Tang Fan nodded suddenly after listening, realizing it was like this. So, what happened in 1962, should it be that the Mantis Man ran out of Naringele Canyon? He asked. Lin Qingwu nodded. Tang Fan stopped talking and continued to read the materials. Except for praying mantis people, there is also a type of half-orc. Recorded on the data, in 1970, a patrol team around the Naringele Canyon was attacked by a terrifying creature that was half wolf and half human. That creature is very huge, standing over 2 meters tall. After a fierce exchange of fire, half of the patrol team was killed. Half werewolves flee with injuries. Is this half werewolf the existence of the mysterious monster event in 1979? Looking at it, Tang Fan asked curiously. As far as he knows, in 1979. Near a research institute established in the Kunlun Mountains, the body of a monster that is half human and half beast has been discovered. The staff originally intended to bring it back to the research institute for research. But halfway through, a live one was killed. The research team suffered heavy casualties, and their bodies were also snatched away by living beasts. By 1983, that thing had once killed a horse owner at a racecourse. Tang Fan didn't expect it. That monster is actually a werewolf. That's right. You know quite a bit. However, we now have a definite view on these two organisms. Lin Qingwu fiddled with her phone while saying, Tomb Beast. Tang Fan spoke decisively, if nothing unexpected happens. These two creatures are both tomb beasts. Because the country has already discovered it. There is a mysterious ancient tomb in the Naringele Canyon. The werewolf and mantis humans are highly likely to be the tomb-guarding beasts in mysterious ancient tombs. However, for some unknown reason, it ran out. Lin Qingwu nodded. There is no record of which mysterious ancient tomb is located in the Naringele Gorge. Tang Fan glanced at the information again and said. We are not sure about this either. I only know that there is a mysterious ancient tomb inside. Lin Qingwu helplessly spread out her hand and said. Finally, she added, however, we have found bronze artifacts inside before. Bronze where? Tang Fan couldn't help but fall into contemplation after listening. Just now, he thought that the mysterious ancient tomb in the Naringele Gorge should be the legendary Western Xia. But now it seems that it shouldn't be. The earliest Western Xia dynasty began in the Tang dynasty. At that time, bronzeware had already been replaced. Is it a ghost country during the Xia and Shang dynasties? Suddenly, Tang Fan spoke up and said. You're right. The mysterious ancient country tomb in the Naringele Canyon is exactly the legendary ghost country. As soon as he finished speaking, a deep voice came over. Chapter 6. Incorporate Hu Bayi and trigger mysterious rewards. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 6. Incorporate Hu Bayi and trigger mysterious rewards upon hearing this. Tang Fan looked out at the sound source. Zhang Qilin, who had been silent all along, also looked towards the sound source. The newcomer is middle-aged, with a square face and a sturdy physique. He looked whole, giving off a feeling of silence, melancholy, and honesty. Hu Bayi. Middle-aged self-introduction. Tang Fan, this is Zhang Qilin. Tang Fan put down the materials. Speaking, he pointed to the silent little brother. Hu Bayi glanced at him, then at Zhang Qilin, and then found a seat to sit down. Tang Fan glanced at him and asked Lin Qingguo to make tea, then spoke to Hu Bayi, listen to what you just said. Do you have any knowledge about the mysterious ancient tombs in the Naringele Canyon? Facing his gaze, Hu Bayi nodded slightly. I am stationed in the Kunlun Mountains, near the Naringele Gorge. I have researched a lot of information about the mysterious ancient tomb. It can be concluded that the Naringele Gorge should be home to the nomadic tribes of the Yin and Shang dynasties, the Hebo tribe. After listening, Tang Fan pondered deeply. The Ghost Kingdom during the Shang and Zhou dynasties, also known as the Ghost Feng or Feng Kingdom. It was an extremely powerful ethnic group during the Shang and Zhou dynasties. However, after the Western Zhou dynasty conquered the Shang dynasty, there was a disagreement in the Ghost Kingdom, and one branch became affiliated with the Western Zhou dynasty. And the other one. He has been active in the northwest region and hates the Central Plains region. In the spring and autumn period, this branch is called Chidi. Once upon a time, this Red Emperor was still in the spring and autumn period and had destroyed several small countries. Even major powers like Zheng, Qi, and Jin do not take it seriously and often provoke at the border. However, with the rise of countries such as Jin and Qi, Chidi was shattered and expelled from the Central Plains, shrinking to the southwest. But the house leaks and it rains continuously at night. In the southwest, they encountered the powerful Xiongnu again. In the end, this Chidi became scattered, and during the Qing dynasty, many fled to the Eurasian continent. If the mysterious ancient tomb in the Naringele Canyon is really Chidi, that should be this Chidi. If you really have a way to solve these mysterious ancient tombs, we need to take action as soon as possible. Hu Bayi looked at Tang Fan and continued, when I came. It seems that there has been another disturbance in the Naringele Canyon. The bodies charred by lightning, for some unknown reason. The corpse is starting to rise. After listening, Tang Fan frowned tightly. The reason why Naringele Canyon has become a forbidden zone for life. One reason is the unknown creatures inside. There is another reason for lightning. There are many basalts inside the Naringele Canyon. Basalt contains a large amount of magnetism, which leads to a very strong magnetic field in the Naringele Gorge. In addition, the Naringele Canyon is surrounded by mountains, and the airflow can only flow locally, so as to enhance the quantity and intensity of cloud discharge. As is well known, due to the tip effect, lightning can strike high places. But there are no trees in the Naringele Canyon, only wild grass. When people and animals enter, they become targets of lightning attacks. So, there are many bodies that have been struck to death by lightning in the Naringele Canyon. After so many years, I don't know how many have passed in the Naringele Canyon. If all the corpses are removed, it would be a very troublesome thing. And you? What are the plans? Join my newly established archaeological team to solve these troubles. Do you still want to dump antiques on your own? Tang Fan looked at Hu Bayi and said. Upon hearing this, Hu Bayi fell silent. The country has its difficulties, and everyone has their responsibility. After a moment, he looked up at Tang Fan and said. Ding, congratulations to the host for incorporating Hu Bayi, obtain a reward with 12 points of your own attribute. Received special reward, 10 years of internal power. Congratulations to the host, triggering a mysterious reward. Congratulations to the host for obtaining the dust ball. The reward has been distributed, please check it carefully. Hu Bayi just finished speaking. The sound of the system rang out in Tang Fan's mind. Tang Fan felt a warm current flowing through his limbs and bones. Finally, that warm current converged at Dantian. Good guy. Mysterious reward. Dust beads. Give back internal power. Tang Fan muttered to himself, feeling a bit confused. He thought that incorporating a person was not only about attribute skills, but also about martial arts. I didn't expect it. Now I'm giving my internal strength directly. 10 years of internal strength. This is equivalent to 10 years of hard work for those who refine, and cultivate internal energy. I never expected to trigger a mysterious reward. Make a living. Tang Yi thought to himself. Suddenly, he felt a sharp gaze staring at him. Look by feeling. The gaze came from Zhang Qilin. He stared at Tang Fan as if he had discovered something. Is there any problem? Tang Fan asked. I couldn't help but be shocked in my heart. Zhang Qilin should have noticed that he suddenly possessed 10 years of internal power. Looking at him, Zhang Qilin didn't speak and looked away. Tang Fan ignored him and looked at Hu Bayi. Since you want to join the archaeological team I have formed. Then I won't treat you unfairly either. I think you should be very familiar with this thing. He said. Take out the complete version of the 16-character yin-yang feng shui secret technique from the system backpack and hand it to Hu Bayi. Hu Bayi frowned and took it. When he saw the words clearly on it, he was immediately stunned. Chapter 7. The complete version of Feng Shui Secrets, Hu Bayi's. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 7. The complete version of Feng Shui Secrets, shocked by Hu Bayi. Looking at the complete version of the 16-character yin-yang Feng Shui secret technique, on the book cover, Hu Bayi's face was filled with shock and shock. This secret technique was created by the founder of his sect of touching gold. It can be considered as a secret technique of the money-seeking faction that does not pass on secrets. Moreover, half of the books were destroyed. But Hu Bayi never expected anything. Tang Fan surprisingly produced the complete version. You. He looked at Tang Fan in shock, feeling a bit lost for a moment. Is this person also a money seeker? Surprisingly, there is a complete version of the 16-character yin-yang feng shui secret technique in hand. What's going on? Don't you want it? Tang Fan smiled and spoke. He presented the complete version of the 16-character yin-yang secret technique to Hu Bayi. The purpose is to make Hu Bayi feel that he is mysterious, powerful, and worth following. Just like giving a black and golden ancient sword to Zhang Qilin. After all, I want to be the leader, not to mention anything else. At least convincing the people at hand is necessary. Thank you. Hu Bayi said. I took it over and opened it directly to take a look. I found someone. At this point, Lin Qingwu, who has been helping Tang Fan search for information, spoke up. Oh. Who is it? Tang Fan looked at her and asked eagerly. It's the Partridge whistle you're talking about. The message I received here is. This person has been active near the Kunlun Mountains recently. However, we haven't found out where it is now. Lin Qingwu raised her phone and replied. Near Kunlun Mountain. Tang Fan muttered to himself, this is not easy to find. Kunlun, which has always been known as the Lord of Mountains, is very large. I want to find someone in the Kunlun Mountains. It's like looking for a needle in a haystack. Not to mention. He doesn't have enough time now. The system only provides 3 months of time. But just now, Hu Bayi said that there have been changes in the Naringele Canyon. There will definitely be some changes in other life-restricted areas as well. In this situation, Mr. Lin will definitely make him act quickly. Tang Fan was pondering. Ding-ling-ling. Suddenly. The phone suddenly rang. Take out your phone and it's Mr. Lin. I guess it was urging me. Tang Fan let out a sigh. He was thinking about it before. After the number of people is included and one's various attributes have improved to a certain extent, start taking action. Now it seems impossible. Lin Lao. Tang Fan answered the phone. Latest news. It seems that there has been some kind of change in the major forbidden zones of life. If you really have a way, take action quickly. Mr. Lin's solemn voice came from the other end of the phone, mixed with anxiety. Understood, I will take immediate action. Tang Fan responded. If there are any changes in the major restricted areas of life, the upper authorities must be very anxious. So he had to take immediate action. Otherwise, if we lose support, it is very difficult for him alone to recruit others. But fortunately, currently, Zhang Qilin and Hu Bayi have been included. In addition, the obtained martial arts, internal power, and attribute points have also been added. Entering the restricted area of life can ensure safety. Taking action now is not impossible. Where are you going first? Lin Lao asked. After thinking for a moment, Tang Fan replied, Naringele Canyon. The Partridge whistle is active near the Kunlun Mountains. If you choose the Naringele Canyon, you may even happen to encounter it. Okay, let Zhenguo know if you have any needs. After Lin finished speaking, he hung up the phone. Put down your phone. Tang Fan looked at Hu Bayi and Zhang Qilin and said, let's go. First, go take a look at the Naringele Canyon. The two naturally have no objections. Then he went straight to Kunlun Mountain. Increased defense, strength, and speed attributes. On the helicopter, Tang Fan silently thought to himself. Ding, attribute added successfully. Do you want to view the property panel? The sound of the system rings. View. Tang Fan silently recited in his heart. An attribute board immediately appeared in his mind. Host. Tang Fan. Master Martial Arts. One Yang Finger. Treasure. Dust Beads. Defense. 70, Speed. 70, Power. 70, Internal Power Cultivation. 10 years. Overall evaluation is good, come on, young man, it's really okay. Looking at the attribute board, Tang Fan muttered. All three attributes have been increased to 70. This can already be compared to some martial arts practitioners. Plus 10 years of internal power cultivation. In the martial arts world, one can already rank among the experts. Before long, they arrived in Zizeng. The helicopter directly transported them to the troops stationed in the Naringele Gorge. They were received by General Wang Sheng, the superior of Hu Bayi. Uncle Heir. See Wang Sheng. Lin Qingwu spread out her arms and ran towards him. You little girl, why did you come along too? Wang Sheng personally touched Lin Qingwu's head. Then his gaze fell on Tang Fan. I didn't expect to become an archaeologist at a young age. Not bad, he spoke with admiration. General Wang laughed and said it was all caused by others' chaos. Tang Fan responded with a smile. Let's go in and say. Wang Sheng said. Take the lead in entering the constructed safe house. Tang Fan and others followed closely behind. Kid. Are you sure you want to enter the Naringele Canyon? It's not that I look down on you. But now the situation inside the Naringele Canyon is very severe. If it's just the three of you, I'm afraid it's not enough to see. After entering the safe room and sitting down, Wang Sheng glanced at Tang Fan, Hu Bayi, and Zhang Qilin and gave a decisive evaluation. Chapter 8. Encountering a partridge whistle by chance. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 8. encountering a partridge whistle by chance regarding this. Tang Fan was not angry. After all, the situation inside the Naringele Canyon is currently in charge. Not only are there fierce tomb beasts, but also thunderstorms. In addition, the phenomenon of corpses rising now. Under numerous difficulties. Even elite troops may not necessarily be able to enter. Not to mention. In Wang Xing's view, Tang Yi is a team of only 3 archaeologists. General Wang, it's up to me whether it's okay or not. Besides. You don't have a better way now, do you? Tang Fan smiled. Ah, young man, I am thinking for your safety. The Naringele Canyon is full of crises. A slight mistake can lead to death, it's not a joke. Wang Xing sighed and spoke up. In fact, he also hopes that Tang Fan can do it. But the current situation. Tang Fan's team doesn't seem to be feasible to him no matter what. If you insist on going in, I will send a team to follow you. Before Tang Fan could speak, Wang Xing said again. General Wang's kindness has been appreciated. Tang Fan thought for a moment. Immediately shook his head and refused. Sending a team to follow them in would be disadvantageous. Because having more people means having a bigger goal and making it easier to get into trouble. If you encounter a tomb beast, it's not easy to run away. Having fewer people is actually more advantageous. It goes without saying that it can help each other. Even running away is easier. Are you sure? Wang Xing frowned and looked at him. Facing his gaze, Tang Fan nodded confidently. Since you insist on doing so, okay. You guys go inside. This is the map we have currently explored. The red circles drawn above indicate thunderstorm areas. The best way to avoid it is to avoid it. Wang Xing said. Hand over a map to Tang Fan. Thank you very much. Tang Fan took it and opened it to check. Although the map is of the Naringele Canyon, it is very incomplete. Only the front part has detailed annotations. The middle and innermost areas are a blind spot. However, having this map is also a good help for them. At least, can avoid minefields in the front area. General, there's someone outside. He applied to enter the Naringele Canyon. While Tang Fan was looking at the map, a soldier suddenly walked in to report. Let him leave. This is the forbidden zone of life. Wang Xing waved his hand and said. Their purpose of being stationed here. In addition to being responsible for surveying the Naringele Canyon. Another purpose is to prevent others from entering. Because it is too dangerous inside, it is very easy to die when entering. It can also be considered as a form of protection. Wait. Did he say what his name is? Tang Fan regained his senses and put away the map, asking. The Naringele Canyon is a prohibited area for life. Ordinary people turn pale upon hearing it. How could you apply to enter the Naringele Canyon? So. He feels that the person initiating the application should not be an ordinary person. It seems to be called Partridge Whistle. The soldier thought about it carefully and said. What? After listening. Tang Fan's face instantly showed joy. He didn't expect it to be a partridge whistle. Isn't this equivalent to breaking through iron shoes and finding nowhere to go, and not wasting effort to obtain them all? But I guess so. Since the Zhegu whistle is active near the Kunlun Mountains. It must be the discovery of a tomb in Kunlun Mountain, related to the news of dust droplets. It seems that the partridge whistle should know some information about the Guigua tomb. Tang Fan thought to himself. The partridge whistle has been searching for the dust pearl. Since he found it here. I must have found information about the Ghost Kingdom tomb. The partridge whistle. Tang Fan, isn't that the person you're looking for? Lin Qingwu spoke up somewhat unexpectedly. That's right. It's the person I'm looking for. Could you please bring him to see me? Tang Fan smiled and spoke. The soldier heard this and looked at Wang Sheng. Go and call for it. Wang Sheng waved his hand. After speaking, he looked at Lin Qingwu and said, You little girl, you're not allowed to go on adventures with them. Ah. Second uncle, don't you want it? After listening, Lin Qingwu immediately pouted and acted coquettishly, constantly shaking Wang Sheng's arm. Qingwu, listen to your second uncle. It's too dangerous inside, and I need your help with something. Tang Fan also spoke up. He also has no intention of bringing Lin Qingwu in. Ah. All right. What's up, you say? After listening, Lin Qingwu reluctantly responded. This left Wang Sheng beside him speechless. Uncle Qin doesn't listen to what he says, but instead listens to other men. Alas, the female major is not suitable for staying. Wang Sheng sighed and went to work on his own affairs. Can you help me find a few other people? Chen Yulou doesn't need to be searched anymore. Tang Fan spoke up and said. Zhegu Shao and Chen Yulou are old friends. If we include the Partridge whistle, we can naturally know the information about Chen Yulou. Do you know Chen Yulou? Tang Yi just finished speaking. A deep voice came from the door. Continuing. A middle-aged man in civilian attire walked in. Mature, steady, and carrying a sense of solemnity. At the moment of seeing the Partridge whistle, Zhang Qilin involuntarily grabbed the black gold ancient blade. He's a master. The Partridge whistle couldn't help but look at Zhang Qilin. Don't be nervous. Tang Fan stopped Zhang Qilin, then looked at the Zhegu whistle and arched his hand, saying, Tang Fan has seen the leader of the moving mountain. Chapter 9. Good guy, you need to gather all 4 tomb raiders. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 9. Good guy, are you going to gather all 4 major tomb raiding sections? Brother, thank you very much. The Partridge whistle also saluted him. However, what puzzled Tang Fan was, Hu Bayi didn't react much when he saw the Partridge whistle. This shouldn't be. From a relational perspective, Hu Bayi should call out Grandpa at the Zhegu whistle. Now look at it. It's like Hu Bayi doesn't know Zhegu Shao. Do fictional characters exist? But life is different. Tang Fan thought to himself. It feels like this. Otherwise, when Hu Bayi saw the Partridge whistle, he couldn't have ignored it. Sir, sit down and introduce yourself. Tang Fan smiled and pointed to Zhang Qilin, saying, Zhang Qilin, the head of the Zhang family. Fho Tian Guan. Upon hearing this, the Partridge whistle looked at Zhang Qilin with some surprise. He didn't expect it. There is actually a Feilu heavenly official here. Nice to meet you. The Partridge whistle arched its hand and said. After all, the southern sect has 4 golden gates, and the Feilu heavenly official is an extremely mysterious sect. Act alone and rarely collaborate with others. Zhang Qilin nodded with a signal. He has this temperament and doesn't like to talk. Don't mind. Tang Fan continued to speak, then pointed to Hu Bayi and said, This is a descendant of the wealthy, Hu Bayi. After listening to the Partridge whistle, it froze again. There are actually 2 people from the 4 southern sects in this place. Nice to meet you. The Partridge whistle said. Nice to meet you. Hu Bayi responded politely. If you are a Jingxiawei, Feilu Tianguan, or the leader of the moving mountains, then you are the moving mountain Taoist. This. Tang Fan, are you not the one who wants to gather together the 4 major sects of the thief sect? Lin Qingwu spoke in a daze. Although she knew that Zhang Qilin was a member of the thief's gang. However, it is not clear whether Zhang Qilin is the mysterious Feilu heavenly official. As for Hu Bayi, she didn't even think about stealing the door. Unexpectedly, Hu Bayi turned out to be a jinxie away. In addition, the leader of moving mountains, the Partridge whistle. Lin Qingwu was in disarray in place. If my grandfather knows about this. The archaeological team formed by Tang Fan were all members of the 4 thief sections. Do you have to blow your beard and stare? Don't say that. Tang Fan smiled and looked at the Partridge whistle, saying, Sir, I want to enter the Naringele Canyon. But because of the Ghost Kingdom tomb inside. The Partridge whistled and nodded. That's just right. Our goal is also the Ghost Country tomb. Why don't you join my archaeological team, sir? Tang Fan continued. After listening to the Partridge whistle, it couldn't help but freeze. Archaeological team. Are you sure you're an archaeological team? As he spoke, he looked at Zhang Qilin and then at Hu Bayi. A Feilu heavenly official, and a touching gold colonel. This lineup is an archaeological team. Sir, there is something unknown. It's like this. Tang Fan patiently explained the ancient tomb and the forbidden zone of life to the Partridge whistle. So it's like this. After listening to the Partridge whistle, it suddenly spoke up. Sorry, brother. I have my own things to do. Matters that concern the lives of my entire clan. So, I can't join your camp. He shook his head and refused. Tang Fan smiled slightly. This was within his expectations. Although the Partridge whistle is a person who values emotions and righteousness. But the fate of the family cannot be solved. He will definitely not have any extra thoughts to consider national affairs. Sir, don't worry. What if I can solve your Zagrama tribe's problem? Tang Yi smiled mysteriously. Now, due to the existence of the system, the dust droplets are in his hands. Do you know anything about our tribe? The Partridge whistle frowned and looked at Tang Fan, somewhat surprised. The matter of the Zagrama tribe can be considered as their secret. How did Tang Fan know about this? I have known about it before. If you want to enter the Ghost Kingdom tomb, it's nothing more than searching for the dust pearl. Tang Fan continued. Who are you? Upon hearing this, the Partridge whistle fixed its gaze on Tang Fan. Not easy. Now he only feels that Tang Fan is not simple. I won't reveal the secrets of their Zagrama tribe. Surprisingly, he knew he was looking for the dust pearl. That's to say, Tang Fan knows. Dust beads can solve the curse of their Zagrama tribe. The secrecy of this matter far exceeds the curse of the Zagrama tribe. Even among the Zagrama tribe, few people know about it. How did Tang Fan know? These are not important. What's important is, if I can solve the curse of your Zagrama tribe. Sir, would you be willing to join my archaeological team? Tang Fan smiled and said. I have already grasped the Partridge whistle in my heart. Do you have a way? Unless you have dust droplets. If you can really solve it. Why bother joining your archaeological team? The Partridge whistle spoke frankly. He is unwilling to join. It's because of the curse of the Zagrama tribe. If the curse of the Zagrama tribe can be resolved, that means he has no burden anymore. I think so. You should know this thing. Tang Fan gave a mysterious smile. Then I took out the dust beads from the system backpack. Seeing dust droplets. The Partridge whistle immediately sat up. His eyes were wide open, staring intently at the dust pearl in Tang Fan's hand. On his face, besides being unbelievable, he couldn't believe it. For this bead. They searched for countless generations by the Zagrama tribe. The number of people who died searching for this pearl is unknown. What the Zagrama tribe has been searching for generations is actually in Tang Fan's hands. Chapter 10. Collecting the Partridge whistle and entering the Naringele Canyon. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Chapter 10. Collecting the Partridge whistle and entering the Naringele Canyon. The Partridge whistle looked at the dust pearl in Tang Fan's hand. The mood can be described as extremely complex. There is shock, sadness, and joy. Many emotions mixed in his heart. What do you think, sir? Tang Fan looked at the Partridge whistle with a smile on his face, quietly waiting for his response. In the future, you will be my benefactor. I am a Partridge whistle, obedient to orders. After taking a deep breath, the Partridge whistle made a promise. Tang Fan took out the dust beads. But it's equivalent to saving the lives of his entire tribe. And he is already a person who values emotions and righteousness. For Tang Fan, he must be extremely grateful. Ding! Congratulations to the host for incorporating the Partridge whistle. Obtain a reward with 18 points of your own attribute points. Obtain additional rewards, Taoist Thunderstrike. The reward has been sent, please check it carefully. And after the sound of the Partridge whistle fell, the sound of the system echoed in Tang Fan's mind. Subsequently, the key to lightning strikes was transmitted to his mind. This lightning strike is the Mao Shan technique. Being able to use Dharma spells to lure heavenly thunder for personal use. However, the consumption is extremely huge. It can be said, Tang Fan can't even unleash it now. Because we need to use lightning strikes. It takes at least 20 years of internal power cultivation to complete. And he's only 10 years old now. The thing is good, but unfortunately it cannot be used now. However, it doesn't matter. After all, these two masters currently exist. Tang Fan thought to himself that his mood was very good. The skills of the Partridge whistle are no weaker than those of Zhang Qilin. He added Zhang Qilin and two others. Entering the Naringele Canyon, safety measures can be described as rising sharply. Obedience is inevitable. From now on, we will all be a family. Tang Fan smiled. Pass the dust bead to the Partridge whistle. The Partridge whistle is like a precious treasure, picked up with both hands. Let's do it this way. Let's enter the Naringele Canyon first. After solving the hidden danger of the Ghost Kingdom tomb here. How about you go back and solve your tribe's problems? Tang Fan continued. Don't be so troublesome. I just need to deliver the dust pearl to the tribe members' hands. The Partridge whistle said. Take out a cloth bag and put the dust beads on it. Then reach out and blow in your mouth. Moment a crisp sound came out. It's a bit like the call of some kind of bird. What is he doing? Lin Qingwu asked curiously. Even Zhang Qilin and Hu Bayi looked curiously at the Partridge whistle. He should have been summoned to raise the poultry. Tang Fan explained. Not long after the words fell. Suddenly, a bird flew in. He is very large in size, like an eagle. Is this a night owl? So big. Lin Qingwu watched as the bird opened its mouth in disbelief. Hu Bayi is also somewhat unbelievable. Only Zhang Qilin's face remained expressionless, with a calm expression. Night owls, also known as owls. Also known as a partridge. Bring it back to the clan. The Partridge whistle handed the cloth bag to the night owl. The night owl nodded humanely and then left with the pearl of dust. That's good. By the way, sir. Tang Fan watched the night owl leave and then spoke up, are you old friends with the leader of the Unloading Mountains, Chen Yulou? The Partridge nodded and said, there is indeed a deep friendship. Where is he now? Tang Fan asked again. The leader of Moving Mountains. Tang Fan, do you really want to join the 4 major sects of tomb raiding? If my grandfather knew, then. Lin Qingwu opened her mouth with round big eyes. The Partridge whistle glanced at her and then sighed, saying, ah, my good friend. I have been searching for a way to treat my blindness. I'm not sure where it is now. However, if you want to find him, I can give you a special way to contact him. He will come after receiving it. After listening, Tang Fan laughed. That's great. In this way, he doesn't have to spend time searching for Chen Yulou. Take note of Zhenguo. If he comes, let him know. Wait for me here. Tang Fan spoke to Lin Zhenguo. Chen Yulou doesn't know when he will receive the message. He can't be waiting here foolishly. The top priority now is to enter the Naringele Canyon. Okay. Lin Zhenguo nodded obediently. Then take note of the special contact information provided by the Partridge whistle. Then let's go. Zhenguo, remember to help me find a few other people. Tang Fan saw that everything was arranged properly and spoke up. Lin Zhenguo nodded. After a few people walked out of the room, they coincidentally met Wang Sheng, who was rushing in. Ready to depart. Wang Sheng glanced at Tang Fan and asked. Tang Fan nodded. If we don't depart again, Mr. Lin will probably call again to urge us. Put this on. During Wang Sheng's speech, he took out several locators and handed them to Tang Fan. Tang Fan took it and looked at him in confusion. This is a satellite locator, currently activated. After you go in, I and my dad can see your progress. Of course. Another point is, if you have an accident, we can also rescue you. Wang Sheng explained. Is it useful to have a turbulent and powerful magnetic field in the Naringele Canyon? Tang Fan took it and distributed the locator to everyone. This is specially made and naturally useful. More powerful ones are still being developed. After you enter, be careful. Although we have already explored the previous area. But now there are cases of corpses rising inside, it's definitely not safe. Wang Sheng said, and then his face suddenly became solemn. As for the middle and back sections, you'll have to rely on yourself. Because of the two major regions of the middle and rear sections, we have lost over 8,000 people so far. But even so, we haven't been able to grasp any details inside. P.S. Newcomer's new book. The young author is writing this type of novel for the first time. I don't know if readers like it or not. If you still like it, can you give some flowers or review tickets to support the author? Kneel down and thank all the readers, sir.